All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with this evening's. Is it on? Are we on? Can everybody hear me okay? No.
23. The answer is yes.
Testing. Okay. Everybody hear me?
Test 1, 2. Whoa.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with this evening's post-race press conferences here at Pocono Raceway. We're now joined by the winner of tonight's NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series MillerTech 200 here at Pocono. That's Layne Riggs, driver the number 34 Front Row Motorsports Ford. If you have a question for Layne, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. We'll start here with Jordan and work our way around the room.
I can hear you all, guys. You don't have to have a microphone. I can hear you guys.
From Bianchi the Athletic. You've had a season of a lot of near misses, and as you've kind of gone through, when you see Stuart Friesen win last week, and that cut line keeps moving up, and the number of spots to get in on points gets smaller. What are you thinking as that's kind of happening?
Yeah, after last week, it was the first kind of race. It's like, we're kind of getting a little close here. If we keep getting some new winners, it might get tougher, but I knew that we had a good little buffer, like you said, but I didn't want to rely on it. Now we don't have to. And, right now is the time to start building the Darlington truck for us and just kind of do the best we can through these other ones to try to get as much points as we can. But, yeah, definitely a big relief, as it is for everybody that wins and makes it in the playoffs, to just be able to focus on those races.
You look at Corey Heim, he's the guy that everybody seems to talk about every single week, but it does seem that you guys are at least close or in that ballpark, or in some leagues even better than him. Where do you kind of feel like you stack up with him right now coming down the stretch?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that we're really close or better some days, like you said. He's been doing it, 5 years now? And this is only my second season, so I feel like I'm learning at a really rapid pace, trying to take it all in. But, I think it's just a big testament to everybody at Front Row. We're building all our own chassis, bodies, everything's in-house now. It's not subcontracted out to anybody else. So to do that and have the veterans there that have done it forever, and they all have a lot of passion and heart to give me the best equipment possible. It's just very gratifying to get them wins and lock us in. We don't have to worry about it. It's been tough to watch my teammate Chandler win this year twice, and then be locked in and not have to worry about it. He's happy-go-lucky every week, and I wouldn't say sweating, but you're having to think about it a little bit more and say, hey, we can't have a bad race. We can't miss or we can't wreck. We got to just keep being solid. Now we can just do whatever we need to until the playoffs start. So, yeah, super exciting. Thanks.
Hey, Layne, Eddie Kalegi, Motorsports Today. Congrats on the win. It's no secret you've had some pretty intense battles with Corey and Carson Hocevar this year, and those were your two main competitors before different things kind of took them out of the race. But looking big picture, how satisfying is it for you to be able to beat two really talented drivers in Corey and Carson today that you battled with a lot at the start of the race? For
sure. I feel like this year the name of the game has kind of been, me and Corey plus the 7 whenever Carson's in it, and that's great, and it's good for me. It's good for the brand, and showing that I can run with those guys every week. Corey, a deserving Cup driver, and other Cup drivers. So it's great to put me right in the mix between them. I test that to just some good trucks they're building and just getting that experience, getting comfortable. Like I said, last year here, I didn't know what to think of the place. Now coming here, I just felt calm on the racetrack. I was just relaxed in the truck. I knew exactly what I needed to go fast, and my guys were able to give it to me. And it just took a little bit of time to get it done. But, I think that we're one of the best every weekend. We're definitely close. We just got to really put all our chips all in when it's time to.
Go to Zach in the back.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Layne, your 2 wins last year, Milwaukee and Bristol, shorter tracks, flatter tracks. You get a win on a place like this where so much of it is downforce dependent, speed dependent. You're carrying the throttle a lot. How satisfying is that for you and your growth as a driver to prove that you can win anywhere on the schedule rather than just on a short track like you had previously?
Yeah, very satisfying. Last year I was like, it was short tracks. Layne won on the short tracks, obviously. But this year, I felt like our performance has been better on the 1.5 miles and the big tracks, and I feel more comfortable at those. I feel more confident showing up at those than I do the short tracks now, which is a crazy 180 for me. I think that just shows my growth and understanding of what the track's like, the aero side of it, and it just becomes really natural to me now. Like last year, I had to think about it all the time. Okay, if I go in the corner behind him, I'm going to get tight. If I do this, I'm going to counter that. Like, I don't even have to think about that now, which is good. And like I said, just takes a little bit of time to get that sorted out. But now I feel like I'm just as good as any of them when it comes to the aero games and just trying to find speed, places that you're going so fast. Thanks.
Hey, Layne, I'm Chopper Motorsports Today. First off, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
But if you look back to Pocono last year, you guys had a really rough time, barely able to start the race, ended up in a wreck. So just looking now, a year later, at this same facility, how do you feel just in terms of, do you see it as a redemption, or was it not even on your radar, another day at the office? I guess, where are the emotions?
Yeah, well, I like this place now. I didn't really like it last year after leaving, and not because of the facility, just because of our luck. But, I said earlier, it made it all worth it. The bad experience last year, the way it was kind of a dismal day, it was all worth it being able to have the performance that we had today. I feel like our trucks are a lot better. We came with a lot different package than we did last year. We're just getting smarter as a race team and figuring out what it takes to be better at all the tracks, not just a certain select couple. So, like I said, I think Dad won an ARCA race here back in, was it early 2000s, so like 01 or something? He won an ARCA race. So that's pretty cool, I guess. And he was here today. 04, yeah, 04 ARCA race. I was 2 years old. So it's crazy that we could all do that. And I've looked at that trophy on top of the refrigerator for a long time. So really cool to kind of bring all that back together. Also, the connection to South Boston Speedway, the Mattioli family racing there, getting the late model championship there in 2022, and ultimately propelled me to my opportunity to race at a national series level. And now win at their sister big track is a really cool feat.
All right, we'll come up to the front here.
Doug William, theponyfinish.net. Layne, 2 new tracks that are coming on your resume for the rest of the regular season. We're going to Lime Rock next week, and then Watkins Glen, 2 technical road course races. How are you guys preparing for setting up for that race with Front Row and your teammate Chandler, as well as setting up for the Roval in the playoffs as well?
Yeah, I've only ever ran one road course race, and that was last year at COTA. We were running second, and we had an ignition issue, so we didn't get to finish the race. But I just went into COTA just trying to figure out what I'm doing, and we ended up being really fast and competitive, and that just was a chip on my shoulder. Like, man, I'll come into something new like this and was successful at it from the start. And then Front Row Motorsports, they have a really good road course package. Zane winning so many times at COTA. I'm glad that we're putting more road courses on the schedule. As a feeder series, you need more alternative racetracks to race at to get more experience. Dad fought this back in the day. He talks about right when he moved to the truck series, they went away with road courses. He went to Busch, they went away with road courses. His first ever road course race was in a cut car. It snowed, and he struggled. So, I think it's good as a feeder series to run more of the tracks percentage-wise that the Cup Series does. They go to a lot more road courses than we do. We go to Atlanta, Daytona, Talladega. They go to all those twice. I like that we're getting more involved and getting a closer, tighter schedule to them, which is where we all hope to be one day.
Thanks, Layne.
Thanks.
Layne, Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times Tribune. Can you just talk about your reaction as you guys are coming on the last lap of that restart when you see that Corey's got the flat tire, and then just talk about the restart when Hocevar got penalized for jumping the restart?
Yeah, it was very odd. Obviously, a lot went on in 25, 30-second range. My spotter asked me, he said, does the 11 have a flat? From the left side, it was no. I don't know if it was a right side tire or whatever it was, but I hate that for them. They had a good race going. They probably had the best truck of the race, and I was excited to battle it out at the end with them. So I hate that didn't work. And then I think it was a lot of confusion between who was the control truck, me or the 7. And the 7 coming to the restart zone kept slowing down a lot. We slowed down. If the pace speed was 60, we had to be going at least 25, 30 mile an hour. So I don't know if he was slowing down for me and I was slowing down for him at the same time, but last second my spotter said, "You're the control truck." So right when he said that, he took off. So when he took off, I took off too. So it was just a lot of confusion, and I really hate that it ended like that. I really wanted to battle it out with him at the end. We had the better long-run truck over versus him, and I feel like it would have been a little bit more gratifying of a win if it would have been a straight-up pass at the end for the win. But like I said, racing is a lot about luck. We were good, and we had a little luck on our side today. I'd rather be lucky than good.
Just a real quick follow. Did you say your dad kept the ARCA trophy on top of the refrigerator?
In the basement.
Oh.
The basement fridge.
All right, we'll take one final question right here in the middle. Yeah.
To More Motorsports Daily, and I just want to follow up real quick. I just want to know, at what point would you say you knew that you were the control car, or at least had an idea of when things were going to be in your control?
It was 2 car lengths from the restart zone. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, we're slowing down. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to be the guy to go and get called for it. And he said, "You're the control truck." So right when he said that, the 7 took off before we took off. So it's like I was just kind of in a box there. Didn't really have anything to do. I really wish that they would have added a lap of caution to let us kind of sort it out and get it all figured out first. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing. It was a little odd to the finish, but I said, I'll take it any day, though.
And what's just kind of going through your mind there through those couple laps until Carson eventually pulls in the pit road to take the pass through? Were you worried maybe NASCAR was going to overturn the call as they battled it through, or were you confident at least that you guys were going to have control once you saw him come down?
Yeah, well, my spotter, I mean, once NASCAR makes a decision, they stick with it always. So my spotter told me they were posted, I think, half a lap after. So from that point, I pretty much knew. It was actually very odd. I don't know if it was him or some kind of fluid on the track, but we were through the short chute before 3, and he had a big rooster tail of oil come out of his rear, and it was all over my windshield. And I was saying, I think he's blowing up. Like, I pulled away from him because I thought he was blowing up in front of me. So that was really odd, and I really couldn't see the last part of the race. I was trying to, the sun was coming and reflecting off the oil, and I really couldn't see that well. So it was just a lot going on. And in the end, no matter what, I'm just glad it worked out in our favor.
We'll take one last question from Chris Knight.
Chris Knight, GetRest.com. Layne, I was curious, how much time have you spent in the simulator preparing for Lime Rock Park? What do you know about the track, and how beneficial is the extra practice going to be?
Well, Lime Rock is the first track I've ever driven on iRacing when I was 12, 11. So I got a pretty good experience there, at least in simulation world. I know what it is. Ford Performance was able to get us some Mustangs up there. We went to a track day, got to run some laps, kind of got to get a feel of the racetrack and what it's all about. It's a fast place. It's very fast and very narrow. We haven't done a whole lot of sim time. We did some work last week. We're going to do some more this coming Monday, just to try to be the best we can. But I think that our package at all road courses are pretty similar. They don't change as much as they do at the oval tracks. It's pretty much your road course package is kind of what you got.
I talked to some like Nathan Berger in particular, because he's raced instead of racing like a short track. Do you think that it had those fundamentals?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it has all right-hand corners except one left-hander. Like, turn 3 is the only left-hand corner on the whole track, and all the right-handers are fast right-handers. Like, you better be hanging on. So, I think there's a lot of asymmetry that we have to build into it. Let's be better in the rights, give up a little left. And I think it's just going to be that game of how much is it worth giving up in the left to be better in the rights. And I think that the winner is probably going to be the one that has it figured out the best.
All right, congratulations, Layne.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you, everybody.